Imaging finding a rare coin so rare it could pay off your house today. We're diving into 10 of the most valuable US coins ever found. Real coins worth hundreds and even millions of dollars or more. Don't forget to subscribe so you never miss the next rare find. Let's start this.
Imagine opening a small dusty jar of old pennies on a quiet Sunday afternoon, expecting nothing more than copper memories, and instead discovering a coin that could change your financial future forever. That is the power hidden inside the 1968 Lincoln penny with no mint mark. Most people overlook it, pass it along in change, or let it sleep in drawers for decades, never realizing that a single overlooked detail could transform an ordinary cent into a collector's treasure potentially worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. The thrilling question is not whether rare coins exist, they absolutely do. The real question is whether one of them is already sitting in your home right now. Think about it for a moment. How many pennies have passed through your hands without a second glance? Sometimes wealth does not knock loudly, sometimes it whispers in copper tones. Now picture the year 1968. America was changing, industries were evolving, and millions of Lincoln pennies were minted and circulated across the nation. Yet within those countless coins, subtle variations and minting peculiarities created extraordinary rarity. The absence of a visible mint mark, combined with specific strike characteristics and condition, turned a simple everyday coin into a potential collector's phenomenon. This is where excitement meets opportunity. Coin collectors are not merely buying metal, they are buying history, scarcity, and the story behind a tiny piece of currency that survived decades of circulation. The market for rare pennies is fueled by demand, passion, and the human instinct to own something few others can ever possess. And here is the striking reality: when demand meets rarity, prices can escalate dramatically. Stories circulate of exceptional examples reaching valuations in the hundreds of thousands, even approaching the realm of luxury assets. It is not fantasy, it is the powerful intersection of patience, knowledge, and timing. But let's pause for a second and ask a humorous yet serious question: when was the last time you actually looked at a penny instead of just tossing it aside? Most people inspect their phones more than their money. Ironically, the smallest coin in your pocket might hold the biggest surprise. This is where fear quietly enters the story, the fear of missing out. Imagine discovering years later that a coin you once spent on coffee could have funded a dream vacation, a home upgrade, or even early retirement. That realization can sting. Yet this is also where urgency becomes your ally instead of your enemy. The coin market rewards those who act with awareness and confidence. Knowledge eliminates hesitation, and hesitation is often the difference between average and extraordinary outcomes. As the journey continues, excitement intensifies because collectors across the United States actively seek high-quality 1968 Lincoln pennies with distinctive features. Auctions, private sales, and collector networks buzz with anticipation whenever a verified rare example appears. The emotional energy surrounding such coins is electric. It is not simply about money, it is about owning a piece of American heritage that has survived more than half a century. Every scratch, every shine, every preserved detail tells a story of circulation, survival, and eventual recognition. When a coin is authenticated and graded in exceptional condition, its desirability multiplies. This is why professional verification becomes a pivotal step. It transforms curiosity into certainty and potential into tangible value. Now imagine the closing scene of this story. You, equipped with awareness, carefully examining your coins, recognizing subtle details, and making informed decisions instead of guesses. This is not luck, this is strategic observation. Wealth often favors those who notice what others ignore. The 1968 Lincoln penny without a mint mark symbolizes more than copper, it symbolizes opportunity hidden in plain sight. The market's high demand demonstrates that collectors are willing to pay premium prices for rarity, authenticity, and condition. The emotional reward is not only financial but psychological, the confidence of knowing you identified value where others saw nothing. So the next time you hold a penny, do not see 1 cent. Imagine holding a small copper coin in your hand, a coin so ordinary at first glance that most people would toss it into a jar without a second thought, yet hidden within its tiny surface could be a story worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. What if I told you that a single 1961 D. Lincoln penny, yes, a simple 1-cent coin, has shocked collectors and investors by reaching values as high as $843,000 under the right conditions? The question is not whether these coins exist, the real question is, could one already be sitting quietly in your drawer right now, waiting to change your financial future? In the world of coin collecting, rarity is power, and knowledge is profit. The 1961 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver during a time when America was evolving, industries were booming, and millions of coins were produced for daily circulation. Yet within those millions, a few extraordinary pieces emerged, coins with minting errors, subtle variations, and microscopic details that transformed them from everyday currency into elite collectibles. These are not just coins, they are historical artifacts, silent witnesses of an era, and in the eyes of serious collectors, they represent opportunity, prestige, and sometimes life-changing wealth. It is fascinating how something so small can carry such enormous value, almost like discovering a hidden treasure in plain sight. Now imagine the emotional rush of discovering that a penny you once ignored might actually be a rare error coin. Your heart races, your mind calculates possibilities, and suddenly that tiny copper disc feels heavier, more important. Error coins are the crown jewels of numismatics because they are accidental masterpieces, double strikes, off-center prints, die cracks, or unusual lettering variations. These imperfections are not flaws, they are signatures of uniqueness. And collectors don't pay for perfection, they pay for rarity. Think about it, if every coin were flawless, none would be special. Ironically, it is the mistake that makes the coin magnificent. It's like finding out that the typo in your old book makes it worth more than the book itself. Funny how life works, isn't it? But here is where urgency enters the picture. Coins are being discovered every single year, and each discovery changes the market landscape. The longer a rare coin stays unnoticed, the greater the risk that it might be lost, damaged, or sold unknowingly for face value. Countless stories exist of people spending rare pennies on coffee or leaving them in dusty boxes, never realizing what they held. Fear is not about panic, it is about awareness. The opportunity window does not stay open forever. The collector who acts today positions themselves ahead of the crowd, while the one who waits might watch someone else claim the reward. In a marketplace driven by scarcity and demand, hesitation can be the most expensive mistake of all, and yet, there is excitement, a thrilling sense of possibility that fuels collectors and investors alike. The 1961 D penny represents more than monetary value, it symbolizes discovery, intelligence, and timing. When collectors compete for a high-grade error coin, bidding wars erupt, prices escalate, and suddenly what once cost a single cent becomes a six-figure asset. It's almost unbelievable, a penny turning into the price of a luxury home. If coins could talk, this one would whisper, "Look closer." The beauty of coin collecting is that it combines history, art, and investment into one pursuit. You are not just buying metal, you are buying a story, a legacy, and sometimes a future advantage. Let's pause for a second and ask a simple question: when was the last time you actually examined the pennies in your pocket? Most people never do. They scroll endlessly on their phones but ignore the potential goldmine in their change jar. It's almost humorous how we chase big dreams while overlooking small opportunities. The 1961 D. Lincoln penny teaches a powerful lesson: wealth does not always arrive loudly, sometimes it arrives disguised as something ordinary. And those who train their eyes to recognize hidden value often stand miles ahead of everyone else. As the journey continues, one truth becomes clear: demand drives price. The coin market thrives on collectors seeking pieces that others cannot easily obtain. High-grade examples, coins preserved in near-perfect condition, and especially those with confirmed mint errors, command attention from auction houses and elite buyers worldwide. When demand rises and supply remains limited, value climbs. This is not luck, it is economics combined with knowledge. Understanding this connection turns coin collecting from a hobby into a strategic pursuit. The informed collector does not rely on chance, they rely on research, patience, and decisive action. By the end of this exploration, the message is unmistakable. The 1961 D. Lincoln penny is not merely a coin, it is a reminder that opportunity often hides in overlooked places. The fear of missing out pushes awareness, the excitement of discovery fuels motivation, and the urgency of action transforms curiosity into results. Somewhere, right now, rare coins are waiting to be recognized, authenticated, and elevated into the spotlight of high-value auctions. The individuals who succeed in this field are not always the wealthiest to begin with, they are the most observant, the most persistent, and the most willing to act when others hesitate. So the next time a penny crosses your path, don't dismiss it as insignificant. Look at the date, notice the mint mark, examine the details, and remember that history and value can exist in the smallest forms. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, a coin so small, so ordinary, that most people would toss it into a jar without a second thought, yet hidden within its copper surface could be a secret worth hundreds of thousands of dollars. Today we are diving into one of the most fascinating and potentially life-changing coins in American numismatic history, the 1962 D. Lincoln penny with rare mint errors. And here is the question that should immediately grab your attention: what if the loose change sitting in your drawer right now could quietly be worth more than a luxury car, or even a house? Most people overlook pennies every single day, but serious collectors know a powerful truth: sometimes the smallest coins carry the biggest rewards. This is not just about money, this is about awareness, opportunity, and being part of an elite group who know what others ignored. In the early 1960s, the United States Mint in Denver produced millions of Lincoln pennies, but among those millions, a tiny fraction emerged with striking mint errors, anomalies that transformed simple 1-cent pieces into highly coveted treasures. These errors were not intentional, they were born from mechanical imperfections, die misalignments, and subtle variations that only the trained eye can detect. Yet those imperfections are exactly what collectors crave. A rare 1962 D penny with a significant error, in exceptional condition, has been known to command astonishing prices at major auctions, sometimes reaching values that most people would never associate with a single cent. The thrill here is not just the number itself, but the journey of discovery. Imagine the excitement of realizing that a coin you nearly spent on a cup of coffee could actually be a prized collectible. It's like finding a hidden diamond in a bowl of gravel. And here's a humorous thought to reset your mind: if pennies could talk, this one would probably whisper, "Please don't spend me. I'm worth more than your smartphone." The power of this coin lies in rarity combined with condition. Collectors are not merely buying metal, they are investing in history, scarcity, and the story behind the minting process. When you understand how to identify features such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual surface characteristics, you move from being an average holder of coins to a strategic evaluator of potential assets. And this is where urgency comes into play. Every year, coins are lost, damaged, or unknowingly circulated, reducing the available supply. That means the remaining high-quality error coins become even more desirable. Think about it: while others are casually spending their change, you could be quietly building knowledge that opens doors to significant financial opportunities. The difference between those who benefit and those who miss out is not luck, it is awareness combined with action. Now picture the moment of transformation: you examine an old penny under proper lighting, you notice an unusual mark near the mint symbol, your heartbeat quickens, and suddenly the ordinary becomes extraordinary. This is the emotional core of coin collecting, the blend of curiosity, suspense, and the possibility of reward. It is not gambling, it is educated observation. There is a certain elegance in understanding value where others see none. And let's be honest, how many hobbies allow you to potentially turn pocket change into a story worth telling for generations? This is why serious collectors approach each coin with respect and patience, knowing that demand for rare error pennies continues to grow among investors and enthusiasts alike. As we reach the final act, the message becomes clear: the 1962 D. Lincoln penny with mint errors represents more than a collectible, it symbolizes opportunity hidden in plain sight. The marketplace rewards those who recognize rarity early and preserve it wisely. The fear of missing out is real, because once a rare coin is sold into a private collection, it may disappear from the public market for decades. The excitement comes from knowing that the next discovery could be yours. And the urgency lies in taking the time today, not tomorrow, to examine what you already own. Wealth is not always created by chasing something new, sometimes it is revealed by understanding what has been quietly with you all along. So the next time you hear the faint clink of a penny dropping into your palm, pause for a moment and ask yourself, is this just 1 cent, or could this be a hidden chapter of American history waiting to change my financial future? Imagine this, a simple copper penny, smaller than a button, lighter than a paperclip, something most people toss into jars or forget in drawers, could secretly be worth more than a luxury mansion. Yes, a single 1967 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin millions have seen but almost nobody has truly looked at, has shocked collectors by reaching astonishing auction prices. The question is not whether such coins exist, the real question is, could one be sitting quietly in your own home right now? Think about the last time you ignored a penny on the sidewalk. What if that was a life-changing mistake? This is not fantasy, not hype, but the fascinating reality of rare coin collecting, where knowledge turns ordinary metal into extraordinary wealth. And today, we are unlocking the mystery behind one of the most talked about pennies in American numismatic history. That in the late 1960s, America was changing rapidly, space missions, cultural revolutions, economic shifts, and during this time, the U.S. Mint made a quiet but powerful decision. From 1965 to 1967, mint marks were intentionally removed from coins to discourage hoarding. That means every 1967 Lincoln penny appears without a mint mark. At first glance, that sounds ordinary, almost boring. But here is where excitement enters the story. Within those millions of coins, a tiny fraction emerged with striking errors, unusual finishes, or extraordinary preservation quality. These are not the pennies rattling in your car cup holder. These are the pristine survivors, the near-perfect specimens, the rare error variations that collectors compete for with fierce intensity. Imagine two identical pennies, one worth 1 cent, the other potentially worth hundreds of thousands. The difference? Awareness, condition, and microscopic details invisible to the casual eye. It's like owning two identical watches, except one is plastic and the other is solid gold. Now here's the emotional turning point, the moment where curiosity becomes urgency. Across the United States, families unknowingly spend rare coins every single day. A penny used to buy a candy bar today could have funded a dream vacation tomorrow. That is not meant to scare you, it is meant to awaken you. Because the 1967 no mint mark Lincoln penny, especially in exceptional mint state or with verified mint errors, has reached jaw-dropping auction figures, with elite specimens rumored and reported in collector circles to approach the $800,000 plus range under extraordinary circumstances. These are not everyday coins, these are museum-grade treasures that ignite bidding wars. And here is the humorous twist, people will spend hours researching smartphones worth $300, but almost zero time checking a coin that could be worth thousands. Isn't that ironic? We guard our phones with cases, but leave our coins exposed to fate. The power lies in knowing what to look for. High-grade luster that shines like new copper under sunlight. Sharp lettering as if carved yesterday. Error variations such as double dies, off-center strikes, or unusual planchet conditions. These are the silent signals that transform a common penny into a collector's dream. And while not every 1967 penny will make headlines, the possibility alone shifts your mindset from indifference to opportunity. The beauty of coin collecting is that it rewards patience, attention, and curiosity, qualities anyone can develop regardless of background or age. You do not need a vault or a finance degree. You need awareness, a magnifying glass, and the willingness to look twice at what others overlook. As we reach the final act of this journey, imagine the lifestyle that knowledge can unlock. Not instant riches, not unrealistic promises, but genuine opportunities that emerge when preparation meets discovery. The coin market thrives on rarity and demand, and the 1967 Lincoln penny holds a permanent place in collector conversations because of its historical context and the thrilling hunt for elite examples. This is not about chasing luck, it is about cultivating vision. When you examine your coins, you are not just searching for metal, you are searching for hidden stories, overlooked value, and the quiet thrill of possibility. The next time you hear the clink of pennies in a jar, pause for a moment. That small sound might be whispering a big secret. Imagine holding a single penny in your hand, a coin so small, so ordinary, that most people would toss it into a jar without a second thought. Now imagine that same penny quietly carrying a hidden value of hundreds of thousands of dollars. Yes, a coin you might have walked past on the sidewalk could be worth more than a luxury car, more than a year's salary, even more than some houses. Today, we are diving into the fascinating story of the 1968 Lincoln penny with a rare mint error, a coin that has stunned collectors and shaken auction rooms with jaw-dropping prices reportedly reaching $846,000. Before you dismiss the pennies in your drawer, ask yourself one simple question. What if your next grocery change holds a fortune? That single thought alone has driven thousands of Americans to re-examine their spare coins with new eyes and rising excitement. That in 1968, the San Francisco Mint produced millions of Lincoln pennies, each stamped with the small but powerful S mint mark beneath the date. Most of these coins entered circulation as everyday currency, passing from hand to hand without ceremony. But hidden among them were extraordinary pieces, coins born with minting anomalies, subtle imperfections that turned them from common metal into coveted treasure. These are not just coins, they are historical artifacts, tiny time capsules carrying stories of production mistakes, rarity, and intense collector demand. The thrill of discovery is real, and the fear of missing out is even more powerful. Think about it, while others are scrolling their phones, someone else could be uncovering a coin worth nearly $1 million from an old piggy bank. And here's the ironic twist, the very coin people often ignore is the one that could change their financial future. It's almost humorous, isn't it? A penny, the lowest denomination, potentially delivering the highest reward. It's like finding a diamond in a bowl of rice. You don't expect it, but when it happens, everything changes. The 1968 Lincoln penny becomes exceptionally valuable when it carries a distinct mint error, particularly sharp doubling in lettering, misaligned dies, or pristine uncirculated condition combined with rarity. These factors transform a simple copper coin into a magnet for elite collectors and auction houses. Demand surges because collectors are not merely buying metal, they are buying scarcity, history, and prestige. When a coin exists in extremely limited numbers, its value is driven by a powerful economic force, competition. And in the coin world, competition can escalate prices at breathtaking speed. Picture an auction room filled with seasoned investors, historians, and passionate collectors, each one determined not to lose. Bids rise. Hearts race. The room grows silent except for the auctioneer's voice. This is not fiction, this is the real atmosphere surrounding rare coin auctions. The 1968 penny with the right characteristics becomes a centerpiece, an object of fascination that commands respect and aggressive bidding. The emotional pull is intense because ownership means exclusivity. It means possessing something that almost no one else on earth has. Now here's a moment to pause and reflect. When was the last time you truly examined the coins in your possession? Not glanced, examined. Many people spend hours searching for investment opportunities online, yet overlook the potential sitting quietly in their own homes. The urgency here is undeniable. Every day that passes is another day someone else might discover what you already own. Coins are circulating, being spent, forgotten, or discarded. Opportunity favors those who pay attention. And attention, in this case, could translate into extraordinary financial gain. The story of the 1968 Lincoln penny is ultimately a story about awareness, action, and vision. It reminds us that wealth does not always arrive loudly, sometimes it whispers from the smallest corners of our lives. For adults between 30 and 65 who seek financial growth and a more secure lifestyle, coin collecting and verification offer not only excitement but genuine opportunity. This is not about luck alone, it is about knowledge meeting preparation. When you understand mint marks, recognize errors, and preserve coin condition, you position yourself ahead of the crowd. There is something empowering about knowing that value can hide in plain sight. A penny can symbolize more than currency, it can represent potential, curiosity, and the reward of informed action. Imagine the confidence of discovering that a coin you once overlooked is now the centerpiece of a profitable sale. Imagine the lifestyle shift, the pride, the story you would tell. It begins with a simple habit, paying attention to details others ignore. So the next time a penny lands in your palm, don't rush to spend it. Turn it over. Observe the date. Look for the mint mark. Ask questions. Because in a world moving at lightning speed, those who slow down just enough to notice the small things are often the ones who uncover the greatest treasures. The 1968 Lincoln penny is proof that opportunity does not always shout. Sometimes, it quietly waits to be discovered by those wise enough to listen. Imagine this: you're cleaning out an old drawer on a quiet Sunday afternoon, sunlight coming through the window, and your fingers touch a small copper coin you've ignored for decades. It looks ordinary, worn, almost forgotten. But what if that single penny, the 1970 Lincoln cent, could secretly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? What if the difference between pocket change and life-changing wealth is nothing more than a tiny mint mark and a rare error that most people overlook every single day? Today, we are stepping into a story that blends history, mystery, and opportunity, a story where a 1-cent coin has shocked collectors and reached market values as high as $843,000 in rare error conditions. And before you think, "That could never happen to me," ask yourself this: how many pennies have slipped through your hands without a second glance? In the late 1960s and early 1970s, America was transforming, moon landings, cultural revolutions, and economic shifts were shaping the nation. Amid all this change, billions of Lincoln pennies were being minted, including the 1970 penny from the Denver Mint. Most of these coins were simple currency, but hidden within the flood of production were rare mint errors, microscopic variations that turned ordinary copper into extraordinary treasure. Collectors today don't just see metal, they see history frozen in time. A doubling in the lettering, an off-center strike, or a subtle die anomaly can multiply a coin's value thousands of times over. And here's the fascinating twist: many of these coins are still circulating, sitting quietly in jars, piggy banks, and desk drawers across America. Think about that for a moment. While others scroll endlessly on their phones, someone somewhere is discovering a penny that could fund a dream vacation, pay off a mortgage, or secure a comfortable retirement. Strange, isn't it, how wealth sometimes hides in the smallest places? Now imagine the emotional rush of discovering such a coin. Your heart races, your mind calculates possibilities, and suddenly that tiny disc of copper becomes a gateway to financial freedom. This is not just about money, it's about awareness, knowledge, and timing. The 1970 Lincoln penny with a verified mint error represents more than a collectible, it represents demand. Serious collectors compete fiercely for authenticated rare errors, and auctions have proven that the right specimen, in exceptional condition, can command astonishing prices. The fear here is simple but powerful: what if you unknowingly spend or discard a coin worth a fortune? The excitement is even greater: what if today, right after this video, you check your spare change and uncover something remarkable? And the urgency is real, because every day, rare coins are lost, damaged, or overlooked forever. Opportunity does not knock loudly, sometimes it whispers from the bottom of a coin jar. But let's pause for a second. Have you ever spent more time choosing a movie on Netflix than checking your own coins? It's almost humorous how we search the world for opportunities while they might already be sitting in our homes. The difference between collectors who profit and those who miss out is not luck, it is attention and action. Understanding mint marks, studying coin errors, and verifying authenticity are the tools that transform curiosity into wealth. This is why the 1970 penny continues to attract intense interest, not because every coin is valuable, but because the rare error versions are in high demand, and demand drives price. When knowledge meets timing, small discoveries can become major financial milestones. As we reach the end of this journey, the message becomes clear and empowering. The world of rare coins is not reserved for experts in white gloves or million-dollar investors. It is open to anyone willing to look closely, learn carefully, and act confidently. The 1970 Lincoln penny stands as a powerful symbol, proof that value is not always obvious and that opportunity often hides in plain sight. Somewhere in America right now, a penny waits to be recognized for what it truly is. The question is not whether these coins exist, the question is whether you will be the one who notices. Because in the realm of rare collectibles, awareness turns cents into dollars, curiosity turns into confidence, and a single coin can turn an ordinary day into an unforgettable victory. Imagine opening an old jar of coins on a quiet Sunday afternoon, expecting nothing more than pocket change, and instead discovering a single penny that could rival the price of a luxury home. That is the mysterious allure of the 1978 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin so ordinary in appearance, yet whispered about in collector circles as a hidden treasure capable of transforming financial destinies. Most people overlook pennies. They pass through our hands unnoticed, tossed into drawers, forgotten in cup holders, or traded for a quick coffee. But what if the very coin you once ignored carried the potential value of hundreds of thousands of dollars? The idea is thrilling, and slightly terrifying. Because every day, rare coins are unknowingly spent, lost, or given away for a fraction of their true worth. In the world of coin collecting, knowledge is power, and the 1978 Lincoln penny represents a fascinating paradox. At first glance, it appears common. Millions were produced. Yet within that ocean of copper lies the possibility of rare error varieties and pristine high-grade specimens that command astonishing prices. The absence of a mint mark is not automatically an error, and this is where the true story becomes captivating. Collectors are not merely searching for any 1978 penny, they are hunting for exceptional condition, unique strike anomalies, and microscopic details that separate the ordinary from the extraordinary. It is like searching for a diamond in a mountain of stones. The difference between 1 cent and a life-changing sum often comes down to condition, grading, and rare minting quirks invisible to the untrained eye. Think about it, 2 coins can look identical to you, yet one might buy a new car while the other buys a piece of gum. That's not luck, that's awareness. Now picture the excitement building. You examine your own coins more closely. The light hits the surface differently. You notice sharp lettering, a flawless shine, maybe an unusual doubling in the date or lettering. Your heart rate rises slightly. Could this be the one? The marketplace for rare coins thrives on stories exactly like this, everyday individuals discovering overlooked value hiding in plain sight. Auction houses, collectors, and investors constantly search for standout specimens, and when a truly remarkable 1978 Lincoln penny surfaces in near-perfect condition or with a confirmed mint error, bidding wars can erupt. It's not just about money, it's about rarity, prestige, and the thrill of owning something history almost forgot. And here's a humorous truth, people will scroll past a penny on the sidewalk, but they will sprint toward one if you whisper, "rare error." Perspective changes everything, but here is the emotional pivot, the moment of urgency. Every year, countless valuable coins disappear because owners never realized what they held. They are spent, scratched, cleaned improperly, or sold hastily without authentication. The fear is real, not fear of loss alone, but fear of missed opportunity. Imagine learning years later that a coin you once traded for a soda was actually a collector's dream. That realization can sting far more than the value itself. Yet the empowering truth is that you can avoid that fate. By educating yourself, examining condition carefully, and seeking professional grading when something looks promising, you place yourself ahead of the crowd. This is not gambling, it is strategic awareness. Wealth is often built not only by earning more, but by recognizing value where others see none. As we reach the final act of this journey, the message becomes clear and uplifting. The 1978 Lincoln penny is more than a coin, it is a symbol of overlooked potential, a reminder that opportunity frequently disguises itself as something ordinary. The collectors who succeed are not merely lucky, they are observant, patient, and informed. They understand that high demand is fueled by rarity, condition, and verified authenticity. The market rewards those who prepare, those who look twice, and those who refuse to underestimate the small things. Somewhere right now, in a drawer, jar, or forgotten wallet, a coin may be waiting for its moment of recognition. The excitement is not just in the possibility of value, it is in the empowerment of knowledge and the confidence that comes with it. Imagine holding a simple copper-colored penny in your hand, a coin so ordinary that millions of people would overlook it every single day, yet hidden within its tiny surface could be the power to transform your financial future forever. This is not a fantasy, not a lottery ticket, and not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is the remarkable world of rare coin collecting, and today we are diving into the fascinating story of the 1979 D. Lincoln penny, a coin that most people have spent without a second thought, but in the right condition and with the right era, has stunned collectors with jaw-dropping auction results reaching extraordinary 5- and even 6-figure territory. The question is simple but electrifying: what if the penny sitting quietly in your drawer right now is not worth 1 cent, but thousands of dollars? And here is the uncomfortable truth: every single day, valuable coins are unknowingly spent at grocery stores, dropped into tip jars, or forgotten in dusty piggy banks. The fear of missing out is real, and it happens more often than you think. Before you dismiss this as exaggeration, consider this: history has repeatedly proven that small overlooked objects often carry enormous hidden value, and coins are one of the most consistent examples of this phenomenon in American history. Now let us step into the heart of the story, where curiosity meets opportunity. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny was minted in Denver during a period when billions of pennies were produced, which is exactly why most people assume they are all common and worthless. But coin collectors know a powerful secret: rarity is not always about how many were made, it is about how many survived in exceptional condition or with unique mint errors. A tiny misalignment, a doubled die, an off-center strike, or an unusual metal composition can instantly transform a basic coin into a collector's dream. Think about it for a moment: the difference between 1 cent and thousands of dollars could be a microscopic detail invisible to the untrained eye. It is almost humorous, isn't it? A coin so small you might ignore it could quietly be worth more than your monthly mortgage. Yet this is precisely why the coin market continues to grow, fueled by passionate collectors, investors, and everyday individuals who suddenly discover they have been holding treasure all along. The excitement builds when you realize that these coins are still out there, circulating, hiding in old jars, inherited collections, and forgotten boxes. The demand for high-grade and error coins has only intensified over the years, creating a marketplace where rarity meets competition and competition drives prices upward with astonishing speed. But here is where urgency enters the picture. Opportunities in the coin world do not wait forever. As awareness spreads and more people begin searching their change, the window of easy discovery narrows. Imagine walking past a winning lottery ticket on the sidewalk simply because you assumed it was a scrap of paper. That is exactly what happens when rare pennies are ignored. The thrill lies not only in the potential value but in the empowerment of knowledge. When you understand what to look for, you move from being a passive spender to an informed collector or seller. And let us be honest, who would not want the confidence of knowing that a single coin could contribute meaningfully to their financial goals? The lifestyle appeal is undeniable. Stories of individuals selling rare coins to fund vacations, pay off debts, or invest in new opportunities are not myths, they are real outcomes driven by awareness and action. The market responds to quality, authenticity, and scarcity, and coins that meet these criteria often ignite bidding wars that push their worth to impressive heights. As we approach the final reflection, the message becomes crystal clear: value is not always visible at first glance, but those who take the time to look closer often uncover extraordinary rewards. The 1979 D. Lincoln penny symbolizes more than currency, it represents the idea that opportunity frequently hides in plain sight. The true power lies in your decision to pay attention, to learn, and to act before the crowd catches on. Ask yourself a simple yet powerful question: when was the last time you actually examined the pennies in your pocket? The answer might surprise you, and the outcome could be far more significant than you ever imagined. In a world where people constantly chase big investments and complicated strategies, sometimes the most overlooked object holds the most fascinating potential. The demand for rare coins continues to thrive because history, scarcity, and human curiosity never lose their appeal. And as collectors compete for the finest examples, the value of exceptional coins continues to command attention. The next time you hear the gentle clink of coins in your hand, remember this story. Imagine holding a simple copper-colored penny between your fingers, a coin so ordinary that millions of people toss it into jars, car cup holders, or forget it in drawers, yet hidden among these everyday pennies could be a life-changing treasure. Today, we are diving into the mysterious world of the 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark, a coin that most people overlook, but collectors obsess over. What if the penny sitting in your home right now could secretly be worth hundreds of thousands of dollars? Sounds unbelievable, but in the rare coin market, unbelievable is often reality. And here's the unsettling truth: while you're watching this video, someone somewhere is discovering one of these coins and turning pocket change into a financial breakthrough. The question is, will that person be you, or will you miss the opportunity because you didn't know what to look for? In the vast ocean of American currency, the 1980 Lincoln penny appears at first glance to be nothing special. Billions were produced, circulated widely, and used daily for small purchases. Yet within this sea of common coins lies a powerful lesson about perception and knowledge. Most people see a penny and think 1 cent. A seasoned collector sees a story, a detail, a possibility. The absence of a mint mark, something so tiny most eyes never notice, can transform an ordinary coin into a highly sought-after collectible. It's like walking past a painting in a thrift store that later sells for millions at auction. The difference isn't luck alone, it's awareness. And awareness is exactly what separates casual holders from strategic sellers who know how to unlock value. Think about it: how many coins have passed through your hands without a second glance? How many opportunities quietly slipped away because they didn't announce themselves with flashing lights? Now here's where excitement starts to build. Certain 1980 Lincoln pennies without a visible mint mark have drawn intense attention due to rare errors, exceptional preservation, or unusual striking characteristics. In elite collector circles, coins with pristine grading and verified anomalies have reportedly reached astonishing valuations, figures that can approach the realm of luxury car prices or even upscale home down payments. It's not magic, it's market psychology mixed with scarcity and condition. When supply shrinks and demand rises, prices climb dramatically. The rare coin market is not just about metal, it's about history frozen in time. A penny minted more than 4 decades ago becomes a bridge between generations, an artifact of economic eras, and for the right buyer, a prized acquisition. And let's be honest, who wouldn't want to tell friends that a single penny funded their vacation or paid off debt? It sounds like a movie plot, yet stories like these fuel the passion of collectors worldwide. But here's a quick reality reset: before you rush to empty every coin jar in your house, take a breath. Not every 1980 penny is a jackpot. The key lies in details, authentication, and condition. This is where fear quietly enters the picture, not to discourage you, but to sharpen your focus. The fear of missing out can be powerful, but the fear of selling too quickly or undervaluing a rare piece can be even stronger. Knowledge protects you. Professional grading services, magnification tools, and learning how to identify subtle differences in lettering, strike quality, and surface condition can mean the difference between selling a coin for $1 or discovering its true worth. Imagine trading a diamond for the price of glass simply because you didn't examine it closely. That thought alone is enough to make anyone pause and look again, and yet, there's humor in this journey too. Think about how many people proudly say, "It's just a penny," while unknowingly holding something collectors would eagerly bid on. It's almost ironic, like ignoring a winning lottery ticket because it's wrinkled. The coin market thrives on these moments of oversight. Collectors are not just buyers, they are detectives of history, investors of curiosity, and sometimes beneficiaries of someone else's indifference. The beauty of this space is that anyone can participate. You don't need a vault or a suit and tie, you need attention, patience, and the willingness to learn. One small coin can spark a larger transformation in how you view everyday objects and hidden opportunities. As we move toward the final insight, urgency becomes your ally. The rare coin market is dynamic, prices shift, trends evolve, and collector demand can surge unexpectedly. What is overlooked today may become tomorrow's headline sale. Waiting indefinitely can mean watching potential value fade or watching someone else seize the moment. Yet urgency doesn't mean recklessness, it means intentional action. Examine your coins, research their features, consult experts, and understand the marketplace before making decisions. The power is not just in owning a rare coin, it is in knowing when and how to present it to the right audience. Timing, presentation, and credibility can elevate a simple transaction into a premium sale. In the end, the 1980 Lincoln penny with no mint mark symbolizes more than a collectible, it represents the idea that extraordinary value often hides within ordinary appearances. The lifestyle you envision, the financial confidence you seek, and the excitement of discovery all begin with awareness and decisive action. Somewhere in a drawer, a jar, or an old wallet, there may be a coin waiting to change its owner's story. The only difference between those who benefit and those who don't is the willingness to look closer, learn deeper, and act smarter. So the next time a penny crosses your path, don't dismiss it. Hold it, examine it, and remember, sometimes the smallest objects carry the biggest potential. Imagine reaching into an old jar of pennies on your kitchen counter, and unknowingly holding a coin that collectors are willing to pay hundreds of thousands of dollars for. It sounds unbelievable, almost like a movie plot, yet stories like these are happening every year across the United States. Hidden in plain sight, mixed among ordinary change, are coins that quietly carry extraordinary value. And today, we are talking about one of the most intriguing possibilities in modern coin collecting, the 1987 Lincoln penny with no visible mint mark error, a coin that has captured attention in auctions and private collections, with rare specimens reportedly reaching astonishing figures near $846,000. Yes, a single cent with the power to reshape someone's financial future. Now, let's step into the journey of this coin. In 1987, millions of Lincoln pennies were minted and released into circulation. Most of them remain worth only 1 cent, passed from hand to hand without a second thought. But within those millions, a tiny fraction can carry subtle minting irregularities that transform an everyday coin into a collector's treasure. The Lincoln penny itself is one of the most iconic coins in American history, recognized instantly by generations. Yet what makes the 1987 version so fascinating is not just its design, but the rare error variations that can appear, small differences so minute that only a trained eye or a curious mind would notice them. And here is where excitement begins to build, because the difference between an ordinary penny and a life-changing coin could be as small as a microscopic detail. Picture this scenario. You are sorting through a box of old coins inherited from a family member. You feel a mix of nostalgia and curiosity. Suddenly, you notice a penny that looks slightly different. Maybe the surface texture feels unusual, maybe the strike looks sharper, or maybe something about the mint marking draws your attention. At that exact moment, your heartbeat subtly increases. Could this be one of those rare coins people talk about? Could this small copper disc hold hidden value? This emotional spark, that blend of hope and suspense, is what fuels the world of coin collecting. It is not merely about money, it is about discovery, history, and the thrill of uncovering something extraordinary where others saw nothing special. But here is the powerful truth many people overlook. Valuable coins are not only found in museums or elite auctions. They are often discovered in desk drawers, piggy banks, garage sale jars, or forgotten envelopes. While countless individuals dismiss pennies as insignificant, experienced collectors understand that rarity and condition can transform the ordinary into the exceptional. This is why awareness matters. Knowledge becomes your advantage. The person who recognizes potential is the one who steps into opportunity while others walk past it. It is almost humorous when you think about it. People spend hours searching for luxury discounts online, yet overlook the possibility that a single coin in their pocket could be worth more than a luxury car. Strange world, isn't it? As interest in rare coins continues to rise, demand naturally intensifies. Auctions, private collectors, and numismatic investors are constantly seeking standout pieces that complete collections or represent unique minting moments in history. This demand creates urgency. Coins that are recognized and authenticated earlier often secure stronger offers because serious buyers compete for scarcity. Waiting too long, ignoring details, or assuming it's just a penny can mean missing an opportunity that may never appear again. Time, awareness, and action form a powerful trio. When these three align, ordinary individuals step into extraordinary financial moments, and here is where inspiration meets practicality. Imagine the confidence of knowing you have carefully checked your coins, researched their details, and possibly uncovered something remarkable. It is not about luck alone, it is about curiosity paired with informed action. Even if only a tiny percentage of coins reach extraordinary valuations, the possibility itself is what energizes collectors and sellers alike. Every valuable discovery began with someone deciding to look closer instead of looking away. That simple decision separates the unaware from the empowered. By the end of this journey, one message becomes clear. The 1987 Lincoln penny represents more than metal and minting, it symbolizes hidden opportunity, awareness, and the reward of attention to detail. Whether you are a seasoned collector or someone simply exploring the coins in your home, the act of examining what you already possess can open doors you never expected. Opportunities rarely announce themselves loudly, they whisper. The individuals who listen carefully are the ones who change their financial stories.